KTUI time is 10:05, and the current temperature is 66 degrees. I'm Sam Scott for KTUI.
Hey, good morning and welcome back. Here we are live at the White Mule Winery on the high plains of Gasconade County, and we have 69, a little hazy this morning, but 69 degrees. And if you hold your finger upright and you smell what's going on out there this morning and you kind of feel the air, you know, we are in the turning days of summer. Headed to fall, and it is a gorgeous day, and we're blessed to have a couple of showers of rain right here this week. You know, a month ago didn't think I'd be calling rain a blessing because we had 25 inches in 30 days, but sure enough, that all dried out with the heat we had, and you know, we had a couple of showers this week that kind of revived things, so it's looking good and green here. So good for you to be along this morning on KTUI 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, or possibly watching on Facebook Live, if so. Good to have you along. Got a lot going on here at the White Mule today. This is Women in Ag, WIA, or whatever they call themselves, Women in Ag Day. There'll be some vendors setting up here throughout the day, and this evening they'll have a meal, and they have a guest speaker coming on, and we'll talk about those individuals and what that schedule is going to be like today. But if you're listening, I'm sure that you can still get in. I know the speaker is coming in, and she's Susie Thompson, and she's going to be talking about a motivational speaker, and she's going to be talking about attitude changes everything, and in fact it does, and we understand that. So good to have you along here this morning. First of all, we're going to welcome a guest back that's been here a time or two before, from Victorian Place in Owensville, who's part of our community here, and they do a lot of outreach, you know, to people and for the community, and got several events coming up here. I think they just went through an open house here recently. And Chris Shaw, good to have you here again this morning, and tell us a little bit more about Victorian Place.
Well, first of all, if I can add, I thank you for being back, and I'd like to thank everybody that came to the open house. We had over 30 people come and visit and tour our community. Secondly, I'd like to just kind of mention that we are having a chamber after hours event at Victorian Place on September 14th, 5:30 to 7:30. We're doing a mix and mingle. We're going to have appetizers and drinks. We're going to have fun and game and prizes and tours available. But it's going to be a chamber after hours event, so anybody that wishes to come, we welcome them with open arms, and we hope that they come and join us for that event.
And that's always a good event. I mean, Owensville Chamber is very active, and we've had several of those opportunities out here, and it's always a good night to, you know, talk with friends and neighbors and individuals in regard to what's going on. And there's always some synergy that comes along with getting together with other business people in our community that kind of bounce off each other and what's going on. So we can work together to promote our great community and talk about it and use each other's resources, you know, to benefit everybody.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
So this is when coming up, Chris?
The chamber after hours is September 14th, 5:30 to 7:30. It's next Thursday. Hopefully we'll be able to give it another shout out before then, but that's when we're having it.
Okay, so and they can get tickets, or they can get a hold of any chamber director.
There's no tickets. They can just show up.
They can just show up and you know, come to Victorian Place, which is at your address is.
Yeah, it's 301 North 7th Street. And it'll be held in our main dining room.
Okay, so North 7th Street, if people aren't familiar with the streets there, you know, they go right up first, or go up First Street, up 28, and then go to 7th Street, and you're kind of out of, you know, a lot of hustle and bustle out there. You kind of got a private area back there where Victorian Place is.
Right, we're right behind the 7th Street Tap and Grill. And you just come back that little windy area and we're right there.
Very good, and that'll be next Thursday evening for the Owensville Chamber. Everybody's welcome. So tell me a little bit more about Victorian Place. When you were here last time, you know, it is a gorgeous facility, and you know, you can accommodate a lot of needs there. It's a place where people that need some assistance sometimes can go, but not necessarily.
Right. Well, just to tell you a little bit about Victorian Place, we offer state certified personnel on duty 24 hours a day, full-time licensed nurse available 24 hours a day, medication supervision and distribution, protective oversight and standby assistance with activities of daily living, 3 meals a day, therapy and skilled home care services for those who qualify. For social amenities, we have easily accessible 48 apartment communities on one level, featuring private and semi-private accommodations, full bath, walk-in showers, kitchenette, spacious closet, emergency call system in rooms and bath, sprinkler and fire alarm systems, and in rooms in public areas, private dining rooms for family and friends, beauty and barber shop, therapy area, entertainment with a large TV and piano, and Wi-Fi and cable, which is free. Financial resources, we have private and long-term care insurance and veterans benefits, Mason, Eastern Star Financial Assistance, personal care assistance through Missouri Medicaid are available for those who qualify. So that's kind of the services and amenities that we offer at Victorian Place. It sounds like it's a mouthful.
It is. So it's you could say that it's a place that has just about everything that anyone would need, as well as great fellowship with other residents there, and that usually the real benefit. You know, getting people, you know, at a certain age, or you know, anytime they want and need some assistance, you know, in regard to keeping a good quality of life, they're there. But having fellowship with others is the key point of all of that.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Yes. So you had an open house here recently, you say? And,
Yeah, we had an open
you know,
house.
so you got opportunity there. If anybody's interested, they can get a hold of you if they've got loved ones or you know, family that's looking for a place to reside. They can reach you at what?
They can give us a call at 573-437-5396. That is our direct line to the community.
437?
5396.
5396. Okay. You got a Facebook page or something?
Yep, you can go to Victorian Place of Owensville, Residential Care by AmeriCare.
Okay. So there you have it. Either Facebook, go to their Facebook page, or give them a call, or just drive out there some evening out on 7th Street or some day, and you'll see what kind of a gorgeous setting they have out there. Chris, I appreciate you coming by this morning. I don't know if we'll be there, but we'll probably have somebody there at your place next Thursday night for the chamber.
Well, I look forward to having you. I look forward to having anybody that would like to come. And again, that is 5:30 to 7:30, September 14th.
Thank you very much, and I'll mention it again next week.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you. Chris Shaw there from Victorian Place at Owensville, and we're going to get ready here now for, I'm going to say Amy Atkinson. That's not right, but it's Amy Kidman is going to come and talk about the women in ag, and she has with her today her daughter, which is going to be with us too. And what is your name, dear?
Eliza.
Elijah.
Eliza.
Elijah. You want to come up and sit here?
Yeah.
You don't want to? Okay. What do you got on there? You got root for what? Root for women, your shirt. Elijah had root for women shirt on, and I've never seen one of those. They look pretty awesome. So that's all the things that grow underground. Is there carrots there and beets there maybe? And what else? You don't know? Amy, it's good to have you back here. And it's been a year or two here since you've been here, but you know, we have a big event today, and you're always a big part of that, you and your family, and you know, the event has grown, but because the purpose has grown, you know, kind of amazing. I don't know how many years you've been in the food, you know, business in regard to delivering your own product to consumer, but a few years.
A few years, yes.
We're going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, Eliza, so for this event, Eliza was 9 days old whenever it was the first Women in Ag event here.
Wow.
And we brought her as a 9-day baby.
Wow. So you were here on the onset, and I'm going to say that, how old are you now? About
9.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, 9 days?
Well, she's 9 years.
Yeah, but she was 9 days old when she was here? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
9 and 9. 9 years now we've had this, and you've been part of it, haven't you? No question about it.
Absolutely.
Well, they've got a lot of things, you know, planned today, and to go back a little bit on what tell us, Castanado Stage in Marion County, correct? And you know, they are ladies. Gentlemen are also invited, you know, if they choose to come. But
Eric hasn't missed one yet.
pardon?
Eric has not missed one yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you know, they're absolutely always welcome. But you guys do have a good program, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs here that
Yes.
Think outside the box.
Yes.
And are creative in regard to what they're producing. Not only food, but you know, a lot of other arts and crafts. And
Value-added products from the farm. I mean, ladies bring a lot to the table.
they
as
bring
far-
everything to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
table.
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But just in the operation, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of levers, right, in the whole operation. So I think highlighting and showcasing women in the operation is really a strength for a community.
It is, and you know, you've been at it 9 years, and you know, kind of still right on the, I think, on the onset of a lot of change that come in the food business. Mm-hmm. I know this evening we also are helping host the Farm to Table event at Washington, which is a fundraiser for downtown Washington, and you know, they sell 200 tickets at pretty high dollar for a fundraiser there, and it's all farm to table stuff, and we're blessed to be part of that. Gus with his meat business, and us in regard to the White Mule, we'll be serving brisket, and there'll be pork and other things there, but it's all local. It's all you know, people that make their livelihood, or a lot of that, out of selling directly to the consumer, or feeding them, and it's a big event, and everybody always looks forward to those particular things, because you know, when you're eating the food and you know everything about it, it's pretty good stuff, you know.
Absolutely.
And that's the question everybody asks. So you started this co-op, Amy, and has that been that long ago, 8 or 9 years ago? I mean, it's kind of a gradual thing.
Yeah,
to some
it's
degree.
it's evolved just as our family has evolved with our operation. So it's a cooperative on the side of the family production. So it was my mom, and my sister, and then Eric and myself, who collectively said, let's take our resources and our creative endeavors and all of our gifts and put them together, so we can provide meat. We also, Eliza and I, that's the major part of what we're doing right now is grazing. We're doing adaptive grazing management, goats. What else do we have? Sheep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we couldn't do it without the cooperative, which is the family unit, and we just had to structure it in a way that worked for us.
And that's very creative, and we do similar things here at the White Mule because, while we have this venue here and do, food here, a lot of which is our own food, or our own meat, I should say. Not 100% quite yet, but it takes a while to get there, and then we do the processing,
That's
but
huge.
that's another
Yeah,
big
that's huge.
thing, that Gus does, and then, our family's involved with WM Meats, where we finish the cattle and market them or sell those quarters and halves or whatever they want.
Right.
Gus has got a storefront there that he'll, put some of the things through and, merchandise them that way. So, it's it's kind of a it's a complex business model.
Oh my gosh, it's so complex, isn't it?
Yeah, and when I say that we're not totally seamless, you understand that. Amy.
Yes,
You
yes.
understand that not every cow, sheep, or goat gets ready exactly what time you need it to
Yes.
fill particular situations. There's a lot of elements in those things that go along with it. So, but in your situation, a co-op, I'm assuming that people can place orders there, correct?
Yes. So we are direct to consumer. We shipped, especially during the pandemic, we were shipping, and then prices of things
Right.
rose. So we went back to making appointments by text message or email, and then picking up at the co-op. And we still do ship some, but we have not shipped as much, just because, again, that Nana mostly, here we go, Nana mostly ships. So Nana, who is my mom, Robin, she does the
Of
shipping.
course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And
we
you
do-
know, that's all part of it. And most of those clients, I'm sure that you have, may or may not have some connectivity, you know what I'm saying, to our area that might have moved away or,
Right.
whatever, or know you, and you got them started, eating,
Yes.
some of the product, and, they've liked it. So that all kind of goes with the model.
Yes, you do with your customer base, you do gain, it's almost like an extended family that you're taking care of, right? Because it's like that connection where they do know your practices, the animal, and then the end too, and then you get a product that has all this connection, plus it's premium. It just is, on taste, texture, everything is a beautiful product in the end.
It is, and you do the sheep and the goats,
We do.
And that's something, a business that has expanded tremendously in the last number of years. I watch this place over at Stony Hill, that kills a lot of goats, and they get them all over from the Midwest, and there's a specialized market in regard to that. Some of the some of the religions, will not allow eating pork and even some beef. So, the goat is a mainstay of a lot of Bosnians and, people that have immigrated to our area for one reason or the other. And those things go for premiums. They want them a certain way, and, there's not as much meat on a goat as there
No.
is a cow,
No, this is true.
So it's limited,
However, we can run about 7 goats to 1 cow.
That, you got me there. And the profitability has been very good because, what a goat can do is utilize forages
Yes.
a lot better than cattle can do, and they put on just the way they're structured and their metabolism, you know, they can put on a great amount of fat in a short amount of period of time of excellent quality. So it's,
Yeah.
you have an advantage.
Well, yeah, we're gonna go with goats. Could be an advantage.
Yes, I mean, there's, I mean, as far as some of the things are concerned, you know, and sheep are kind of the same way, you know, but goats also have multiple births.
Yes, yeah.
Twinning is a,
It's typical.
Yes.
First year you want a single, and then kind of like deer. Second, they could, yeah. You can have twins. That's right. Yep, yep.
do you milk any of the goats?
We no longer milk. We took over the management of Nana's Nubians and put them to work as,
Yes.
well, grass, yep, a management tool. And then we got into it and thought, hey, there is a business model here.
Right.
With the meat, so that's where we are, especially Eliza and I, in the arm of the cooperative. Yeah.
Well, and, yeah, they, you know, they are very efficient animals, and, you know, there's, you know, if you look at everything that they produce, there's every part of a goat or sheep are, especially goats, are marketable. You know, their hair is the goat skin, and the hair and those kind of things are valuable. You know, as well as sheep, the wool, you know, that they produce, and you know, they've got the meat, and then of course, isn't there some real health opportunities too for like goat milk and things? Don't a lot of people that
Oh,
have
there are, yeah, yeah. So when
or lactose intolerant or something that
some can tolerate the proteins, yeah, better assimilate, yeah. So there are a lot of advantages, especially if you are into the milk aspect of it, to have goat milk. Yeah. Mom made soap, and then growing up we had it, and lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Just with how we manage with the soil health and everything, I mean, having the diversity of species with the cattle, and then the
Right.
small rumen too, because that's part of what we're pretty passionate about is the soil health, and then our animals' health, and then human health, like we talked about, the meat on the plate.
of course, sustainability, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, is
Yeah.
what we're all looking for.
Absolutely, yeah.
And, you know, for the next generation or two or three, you know, that's coming down the way. And that's why, you know, these things are popular, you know what I'm saying? Because most all of us that directly market to the consumer, we listen to what the consumer wants. You know, it's not like, you know, going to the big grocery chains or whatever, and you know, that's all being there. Most of our clients are looking for particular things that we are producing, and we listen to and we explain to them what the difference is in regard to our product versus something that's on the shelf, and we can all tell them more than they want to know.
Right, yeah, exactly, exactly. I do. I feel like small producers are kind of, they make the way, right? And then sometimes you get the big companies that try and chase it, and they have marketing power and all the other things that can overtake. But yeah, I think small producers are vital in that role of listening and producing something consumers want.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how long ago it's been, but I'm going to say that it was probably 25 years ago. We were in San Francisco and went down Fisherman's Wharf, and we hadn't did any of this farm to table stuff, or, you know, localized marketing or certain brand X or whatever selling direct to the consumer. But walked down Fisherman's Wharf, miles of, you know, different distribution channels directly from the farm, and people were purchasing, you know, meat and milk and all different kind of proteins and food choices that was all made, you know, and marketed by local people. And I was astounded by it, because the quality you could see, especially, you know, it's there. And then the pricing of it, I certainly caught my eye that what 25 years ago, what they were getting for, you know, some of their meats and some of their things that they're doing. And you know, people buying armfuls of it, you know. So it kind of set my entrepreneur mind, you know what I'm saying, and all farmers, all of us want to plow a little deeper than Grandpa did and Dad did. But, you know, it kind of set into motion the thought process, and then understanding value added, you know, from a government standpoint. When I was in the legislature and got to, you know, chair economic development, I noticed, you know, that was in 2000, how quickly trends were changing and how positive, you know, it really was with, you know, talking about value added and where their food comes from.
And that was 25 years ago?
I was in the legislature from 2002 to 2010.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
2002. Okay.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Ask me a
Okay,
question.
so do you feel, because you have seen this, you know, develop, do you feel like where we are now, like what do you see the trajectory being?
As far as agriculture is concerned?
Yeah, like all the things we've talked about, just like the family farm structure and value added and just small like communities, like not all of it, but just where do you see the market going, I guess?
It's such a changing model, okay? And thanks for that question, by the way, because I was looking for an excuse to talk about some of the things that I've come to understand in the past year or two.
Okay.
You know, if you kind of watch the tea leaves in regard to Missouri, we have lost 3 commercial packing plants, big ones, owned by multi-billion-dollar companies in the state of Missouri, you know, in the last year or two. And, you know, what is happening there? Well, part of it is, you know, technology takes things to another level, you know. So therefore a lot of the equipment and a lot of those plants were old. But the trend, and I have a friend of mine, he's a neighbor actually, that has been managed these plants all across the U.S., you know, and he grew up right here at Berger, you know, and, you know, he grew up, Barry grew up in that business, and, you know, talking with him, there's a lot of big questions right now in regard to what is going to happen, because there's a lot of scrutiny being put on, you know, the processing from every level, you know. And some of that, to be honest about it, I think some of that trend is not good for a lot of the things, because, you know, guess what? We just come off of a ship, you know, that on a cruise, which it was, you know, shortened on, but we had great discussion there, and about food and those particular things, because they do a great job. But the bottom line of it is, Amy, is that so many of the food situation, all of the seafood, or most all of the seafood now, is being processed on the ship outside jurisdiction of the U.S. So guess what? You know, all the labor laws, you know what I'm saying, and all of that product that you're getting, you know, there's no laws out there that's going, and the cruise industry is that way. I'm not saying they don't take care of their people, but every one of them are foreigners, you know what I'm saying, because they, you know, they sign contract with them and they work a long time. But the bottom line of it is, one of my concerns is how much of this food processing is going to be done off the U.S. to import in, to mix with ours, which is going on now.
Right.
For that reason, Amy, I am pessimistic and optimistic. Optimistic very much for us that are telling the story.
Right.
Because that's going to, you know, but, you know, kind of really concerned about things like the cattle business, you know what I'm saying, that take so much capital, you know, so much land and so much resources to get it done. Who is going to raise these cattle? I mean, you can, you know, who's going to do the cow-calf part of that, you know?
Yeah.
Who's going to do that? We went through a tremendous drought. A lot of cows moved out of the state of Missouri.
I think, what is it, since we're the lowest we've ever been in cow-calf operations since 52,
yes,
is
you're
that
exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So, you asked, you're sorry you asked.
No,
but,
no, I'm not.
You know, we have work to do. and we have changes, and we have to find sustainability for the next generation to be able to get their arms around, because it requires, you know how much work this requires. You know that it's so many different things to manage, and you know, motivating the younger generation
Yes.
to work and be focused upon what needs to be done is not, there's a lot of distractions out there.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's your job,
Well,
Amy. That's what you got to do.
Okay,
you know.
so I'm taking it pretty seriously, okay? So just so you know, I'm taking it pretty seriously. And that's part of the reason why she basically shadows me in job training every day,
Right.
essentially. And we dialogue a lot about opportunity.
Right.
There's a lot of opportunity here, and to be a creative thinker and to think outside the box, because as you're stating with the market, like, we feel like anything could happen, so that opens up, like, your pathway can be any which direction. Like, there's not a set way to do this because nobody really knows what's going to happen or how to do it. So there's a lot of opportunity in that, and also risk, and it's scary as well. But
Yeah, well, it is, but for us entrepreneurs, we're motivated by things other than, you know, I think most of us, other than, yeah, you got to make money, you got to do whatever, but we want to serve people. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And we want to be
yeah.
sustainable, first
Yeah.
of all, which requires, you know, capital
Well,
to do, but
if you read any of my glossy Facebook posts, like, you know, I'm an emotional being, so I'm like all pretty emotional about what I do anyway. So yeah, that piece is absolutely there, that we are in service.
yes.
And so, like, back to the job training. So with her, when I pull her into her jobs and what she does on the farm, I don't want to keep telling her one day, you know, all this will be yours. I want to actually motivate her now, so she does get paid. Now she does for her on the job training.
And you should. That's part of the reward, you know. But I know that you've seen already that money is not everything, and you got to love what you do, right? You gotta, you know, love working with your mom, and you got to enjoy the animals quite a bit too. Do you check them when they're lambing or when they're kidding?
So I do have 2 boar goats that I'm showing at the fair, and I take care of them every day. And they're younger to lamb. I mean, they're younger to kid, but I'm gonna kid them when they're old enough.
And you're exactly right. There's no question about it. And, you know, gain and loss comes with husbandry, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? It's just part of how it is. And I will tell you this, my daughter Gracie, we're calving right now. We're calving heifers and cows too. She has better instincts, you know, than her brothers do. And maybe even her dad does, but let's not go that far. But she knows. But you know, it is gain and loss that comes with it, because you know, we had a calf yesterday. You know what I'm saying? For instance, that we weren't able to save. You know, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But you know, those are things that happen, and we do it because we want to use our skills, the best skills we have, to get these animals to serve other people, and
Yep.
you know, it's a great thing. So as you move ahead, and let's talk about something that you mentioned there, the change, the radical change that you see. The change in your business model from when you started.
Yeah.
How many times do you tweak that a week?
Oh my gosh.
You know, I mean,
Oh my
maybe
gosh.
not a week, but
No, yes, it's a constant evolution, right? I mean, it has to be. It's this living organism on its own.
yes, and I used to, I've been in agriculture all my life and was in the feed business for 19 years, and I could sit down with, my customers and plan on, how many cows they need, what they're going to do with these cattle, and put a 5-year financial plan or 10-year, or even a lifetime together on
Yeah.
what we need to do. We seem to be changing ours here a whole lot all the time, and
Yeah.
being creative, especially like when you throw drought and you didn't have any hay. I mean, we were thinking here, wow.
We cut by a third
We-
our cattle,
Yes.
and then we brought in more sheep.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what you have to do, and that's and now we got an abundance of grass, thank God.
Yes.
And it looks
We're gonna need it.
awesome because we are going to need it, and so it's a rolling opportunity, but that's we independent thinkers, that's what we kind of
Yeah.
enjoy too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The challenge, I
We're
guess,
made a
of
little
it.
different, I guess. Yeah.
So there's other people in your co-op that do other things, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
You don't. Your daughter has the root shirt on. Can you get vegetables? Through your co-op.
Not currently, no.
Okay.
We do family production for eggs and for vegetables and.
Okay.
But we do beef.
Mostly me.
Yeah, mostly meat. You're correct. Beef, pork. We carry another brand for chicken.
Okay.
Buttonwood Farm, and then we will have lamb. So I am marketing my lamb right now. So I have 12 slots for whole lamb at 1st of December. So if anyone's looking for holiday lamb, yep.
Do you do any pork in your model?
We do. We have
Well, not much.
not as much as we used to. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all of those things have changed so much, you know what I'm saying? And, but there is, I have a few of my customers here. Actually, I had a guy call from Jeff City and wanted to know, he raised sheep, you know what I'm saying, and wanted to know. And then there's a young couple at Lynn that are doing pigs, that are the right type and the right breed. They're on dirt, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and very organic, and actually those are very good eating if you get the right mix of some of these hog and cattle to some degree too have bred all of the fat out of these animals, and they're so lean. You know what I'm saying? You go to the store and you buy a ham or whatever, you see that rather have a little more. I mean, people like me would like to have a little more fat in that.
Well, I feel like pork should have a 25% fat cap, right?
Yes,
I
yeah,
mean-
exactly. No,
You
no.
want that crispy layer on it, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And the
When it
bacon,
cooks, yes.
and it's no doubt.
Yeah.
So what do you see, Amy, in regard to the co-op business? It's all about networking, to a
Yes.
big degree. Is Facebook and social media continue to be a way that you market yourself?
Yeah, it's a great tool, and it's a free tool.
Right.
So I think you should take advantage of those tools, and at the same time, capture your audience's information as well, so you have your own, like through email lists and things like that. So don't rely completely on the free tool, because at any minute, that could go away. So if you have customers or people, this is just free advice, maybe it's unsolicited, but newsletters and email lists are a great way to connect with your customer base, not relying completely on one platform.
How do you match your supply and demand side of things? Because
That is a
that-
whole thing, right?
it's a tough. It's one of the toughest opportunities. You know what I'm saying, to do, and we're very blessed. And Gus is having a store and having a lot of outreach there, and
Yeah.
a good customer base is all part of that. And we haven't been hurt, at this juncture at all, in regard to not being able to find demand, for the supply that we have, because we have a lot of outlets. But I know, in fact, that during COVID, and you mentioned that, these packing plants filled up, you know what I'm saying, and they're still full, but some of these customers, when the beef prices went up as much as it is, there's a little bit of, backing off, in regard to the price the thing that is there, and maybe it's that they're out shopping and they're much more and they're not confined, but those are real challenges. You know what I'm saying? And if you could make everything shelf stable, there'll be a marketplace for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the truth of it
got an
is that's hard to
expiration.
do with our businesses.
Yes. You may.
Do you do any, anything in the processing side, like making any jerkies or any, thing out of your beef or, goat or the sheep or any? Do you add any, or got any recipes, you know what I'm saying, to
Oh,
add
gosh.
to some of those things?
Yeah, so we, as far as the sheep and goat, we just started processing those, and mostly those have gone to families for holidays that wanted them whole.
Right.
And as far as jerkies and sausage with the pork, we did summer sausages that we really enjoyed, and I don't know if we will do that with the lamb or not. We'll see how our product development goes.
Right, and that's what it takes, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, and
We did have some brats made out of a ram that had to be.
okay.
What's it called? Mud.
Mutton.
Yeah. So it was older. So it wasn't a lamb. That's right. But we had brats made at Swiss. That's who we use, and that was thyme, butter, and there was another herb in there. It was phenomenal. It was so good.
Well, they do a great job there anyway, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, I mean,
Yeah.
if, I don't remember how many exact different brat flavors they have, but it's in the 60s, you know
it's
what
a-
I'm saying?
It's a lot.
And
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's more than almost more than I can eat every breakfast. But I
Yeah.
mean, you name it, and their skills are just tremendous. They have been at it for generations, and they, Mike, and who has worst house, they travel a lot and got a lot of awards, and when you focus in on just that brat thing, as they've been focusing on for 30 years, and it's a great added value, situation, and it's all good, because anytime you want to think about that, anybody in the area in the state of Missouri that wants to think about bratwurst, they're probably going to go to Swiss. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
To experience some of the global best.
Right,
So
right.
it's good stuff. So Gracie has come back. Did you notice that? Did you notice that she's going to have a baby here coming up?
I know. It's like, well, she
I
sat
didn't
down.
know if you caught that or not.
I kind
I'm
of,
sneaky.
you were running around getting coffee. I was like, oh, I don't stop. I'll get my own coffee.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Well, let's not go there, Amy. Come on now. No, we got to keep her going. I was coming back from one of the farms last night, and she was out there walking up and down the county road, and I just stopped and talked, but I didn't offer her a ride because, I said, "Are you out walking?"
Yeah.
I said, "Do you walk every night?" She said, "Maybe not every night,
Almost every night.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Not as much as I should, but
yeah, well, that's good. So, what have you got on today? I know you're hosting this event and taking care of everything, and Mom's going to be a little bit sharp, because we're going to got to go to see Will, today. His Spring Bluff School is having an open house, and we got to go there for just a few minutes, and we got this, and then we've also got Farm to Table. What are you doing?
I will be here today.
You will be here today.
I will, yes.
Good.
Trying to hold the fort down, so.
Well, I'm sure you'll get that done. So, what do we got going on this weekend,
We
Grace?
got
in our community. I mean, that time of the year when things are starting to pick up in regard to activities.
September and October are very busy here as well as everybody else, I think. So the Republican Annual Barbecue is Friday, September 15th. They will be serving pork steak dinner from 6:30 to 7. That will be at St. James UCC Fellowship Hall. Program will begin at 7 o'clock. Keynote speaker is Congressman Blaine Luetzemeyer, plus officials and candidates for federal, state, and local offices will be speaking as well. Advance reservations are $20. Tickets the day of are $25, and 6 and under are free. If you have any questions, it says call Ron Hardke. I'm not sure if that's still
I'm sure
a
that
good contact, but
maybe
I'm sure his wife would.
just a shout out and a prayer for Ron, because I know he had some issues. I think he's some heart issues. I think he is doing very well. I've reached out to him a time or two, and but we still understand those issues. And but Krista, or them always are committed to what they do. You know what I'm saying, and work extremely hard. And we appreciate them. There's no question.
And I'm sure if you call that phone number, 437-6517, somebody will be able to help you.
Yep.
So, St. John's United Church of Christ in BEM is having their all-church fall tailgate kickoff with your side-by-side or truck September 10th during 10 a.m. worship until 1 o'clock. You can bring your grill, cornhole washers, pop-up tents, and games. Everyone is welcome. They'll have the monkey bus from 11 until noon, and then bluegrass music from Joseph Zelch. And this Friday night at the White Mule, we will be serving our steaks, beef kebabs, grilled shrimp, country fried steak, and salmon from 5 until 8:30. Saturday, we will have pizza, wings, and hamburgers from noon until 5, and then our steak dinners until 8:30. Sundays, all-you-can-eat pan-fried chicken and roast beef from 11 until 3:30 p.m. And then Dave Benson will be here Sunday starting at 1.
Okay.
Did you memorize all that?
I did. I've done it a few
I
times.
can tell. That's impressive.
I better have it memorized by now.
Well, my nose has continued to run since you made me go through that ragweed yesterday, and that's
you.
how quick.
I know.
I'm
usually
pretty
don't have
sure that
allergies,
I'm
but-
pretty sure you're mine, because we never went from here 100 yards in
No.
that, and both of us were sneezing.
You can
And
see it coming up in the air, though.
I
It was
know,
thick.
I know. So I'll let you do the bush hogging from now on,
All right. Well, only for about a couple more months. Then I'm
Well.
out.
Well, Amy, it's always a pleasure, to have you here. I really do appreciate you and your family. I do. Good to see you the
Good to
other
see you
night here also, because it's just really good. And you're friends with a lot of the same people I'm friends with.
Oh, no,
Sorry
that
about
says
that. No, I'm kidding. But how much of an extended family we all are, because Paul and your dad and I,
Yes.
we were just
Yeah.
great honor students.
Yeah. Sure. That's what you're sure about that.
Well, look what we produced. Let's say that. You know what I'm
The
saying?
legacy is looking strong. The legacy is looking strong.
It's so good to see Paul and Cindy. I mean, they're, but anyway, it's all good, and appreciate what you do there, and know how hard it is, for starting, as you are, and being involved with every element of, your production is a lot of moving parts, so good luck, and anytime you want, you can come here and promote what you're doing.
I can come talk to you again?
Any day. We'll try to get a few of the flies down. They are really,
Oh, it was just
they're
one.
really, I know, but there's a bunch at home.
Yeah.
And they don't let me sit in my chair very much, But, okay, what else you got, Gracie? Anything?
That's all I have. I believe they're still, if you want to come to the
Today?
Women in Ag this evening, they are,
There's
you can
tickets
pay at
available?
the door.
Yep, tickets available. I know we'll have enough food. We've never run out yet.
So I mean, Eric can tell you, he has not missed a meal yet at Women in Ag, so it'd be a
Good
great
deal.
thing to
Thank you.
come to. Yes, yep.
Well, I know that Karen has been doing brisket, you know, and I think Washington's having that tonight too, aren't they?
They are.
You know, so that's.
That's tonight?
That's tonight.
Oh,
So,
geez,
yeah, you know,
guys are-
it's all good, you know. So, good to have you along with us this morning on KTUI 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, our Facebook Live, and remember, this is the time of year when football is, high school football is happening, and Owensville's off to a good start. I know Sullivan is off to a really good start also, so I know they'll be playing this Friday night, and there may be better community things to do, but high school football is amongst the very, very best, or basketball or any sports, you know, volley, whatever. It's just good to see the kids out there and enjoying, and for us to be able to enjoy the tailgating, you know, that occurs, and the fellowship that goes along with it. So get out and support your team, and I think, by the way, tonight I think the Chiefs are playing. I think at the kickoff, you know, NFL, and I think the Chiefs are playing, and hopefully I get to my recliner to watch them somewhat, you know.
I won't be able to, but I know you
Well,
might.
I'll be thinking about you, you know. Hey, good for you to be along, and God bless you. And next week, we'll be here.
Tom and Cindy Siebert.
Tom and Cindy will be talking about their wagon rides and getting ready for the fall season, and it's a great outing, you know. It's a great deal, and look forward to talking with them. So we'll see you next week, and have a good week, and come on out today if you are sometime out at the White Mule. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend. So come out and see us, and we'll be here, and God bless you. Thanks for being along.
They come home.
I had just come home from serving over in Germany. Next thing I know, it was 3 weeks later. I was paralyzed.
While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open, and I broke my neck. It left me paralyzed for the rest of my life.
I was on a routine